Hello, 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 YouTube! My name is rhianaB, and welcome back to another episode of my RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars review. Now, as you can see by the face, I am in full drag makeup. Unlike last week, I ran out of time and I didn't have time to do a full drag effect, but this time I did. Eyebrow cover and everything, enlarged lips. I try to do the cut crease look. And I'm doing this because the theme of the runway this episode was redemption, and for me, I wanted to redo my first ever attempt at doing drag makeup, and I will insert a picture over here. This is me when I first did drag makeup, and it does not look cute. You can still see this on my Instagram page, but it's not cute. I look back on it and I'm like, why did I post this on my Instagram? It looked so bad. But at the time, I was so proud of it because I had never done drag makeup before. I was just getting into it. But today, I actually like what I've done. It's a little messy in a couple places, but only because I haven't done a couple of these things in a while. So, yeah, but I love my look today, and I hope you guys do too. But enough about me, let's delve right into episode 2. So we start off with the reaction and the aftermath of last episode when Morgan McMichaels went home. And we also find out that Aja was gonna send Chi-Chi home had Aja won that lip sync. So I was correct in that aspect, that I did know that Aja was gonna pick Chi-Chi and Ben was gonna pick Morgan. Also, we see a little segment of Ben getting a little emotional, sending Morgan home, but of course the other queens are like, bitch, you need to calm down, this is the game, and we all know that you're playing the game, that's why you sent Morgan home, da-da-da-da. So there was that little reaction from Ben. And now we also see Chi-Chi get a little bit of motivation to do better in challenges since she was so close to going home, especially since she knew that Aja was going to send her home had she won. So she came that close to going home that night. And then the next day, we also had Chi-Chi call out Milk for having a lack of talent, which I hate when queens do that, when a queen doesn't have any talent, because every single person has a talent to a certain degree. Now, of course, we can't all be fantastic dancers or singers or yada yada yada, so we have to make do with what we got. And I thought Milk did really well in the variety show. I liked it. I didn't think it was so spectacular, but I didn't think it was bad either. I liked it. And so I hate the fact that Chi-Chi called her out for not having any talent, and I find that very rude and disrespectful, so Chi-Chi, gain some respect, girl, huh? So on to the Maxi Challenge. Maxi Challenge was an honor to RuPaul at the VH1 Diva Awards. I love the idea of this challenge because I've seen a couple of VH1 Divas on TV. They actually haven't done it in a while, if I can recall. But I like the idea of that, and the fact that each queen was going to be represented, or was going to represent a famous diva of a certain era. So on the list I have here, Milk was going to be Celine Dion, Kennedy was going to be Jada Jackson, Shangela Mariah Carey, Aja Amy Winehouse, Ben de la Creme Julie Andrews, Trixie Dolly Parton, Chi-Chi Patti LaBelle, Thorgy Stevie Nicks, and Bibi Zahara Benet as the one and only Diana Ross. So going through the process of rehearsing, Thorgy, like Thorgy is a lot of the time, because she was like this in season 8 as well, she complains about everything. And I honestly, it gets on my nerves, but I kind of relate to it because I do the same thing myself. But in her case, she was very upset that her Stevie Nicks character wasn't as bold or as, you know, it wasn't as extravagant as compared to a Mariah Carey or a Diana Ross, which really, if you think about it, Stevie Nicks really isn't that, but she does have a big personality. So I would think that Thorgy, knowing Stevie so well, that she could put it to the test and really bring out that energy and bring out the charisma that Stevie does have when she's on stage. But she was very, very in her head and always complaining, trying to fight for spotlight, And we also get a little bit of a glimpse that would lead into another part of the episode where Milk was very, very confident, probably a little too overly confident, being that she chose an outfit that Celine wore at the Met Gala, which I don't even remember, and I usually remember a lot of Met Gala looks, and just taking Celine in a way that I wouldn't expect someone to do. So then we move on to the actual on-stage rehearsals with Todrick Hall, which, by the way, please give Miss Todrick a crown because she was everything. She was the queen of the episode. He was fantastic. Like, his reactions to everyone, he holds nothing back when talking to any of these queens. And I absolutely love that because a couple of because a couple of them did need a little bit of like a wake-up call to get them back into the realm of where they're at. And also, walking into the onstage rehearsal, we had freaking Shangela being Miss Method Actress. And basically pretending to be Miss Mariah Carey, which part of me loved, but part of me was like, do you really need to go, you know, Daniel Day-Lewis on Drag Race for just a one-time performance? It's just like, I don't know. It was a little, I kind of found it a little standoffish, and a couple of the other girls did agree, especially Milk. She really hated the diva attitude and was like commenting things to her and popping the fan in her face, which, or basically like this. And then we get to doing little groups together, and we saw Kennedy actually struggling with the dancing, which to me is a bit of a shock because Kennedy is such a fantastic dancer. We've seen it time and time again. She's a fantastic dancer and performer. I think the thing with Kennedy is that she's so used to doing her own choreography and doing her own moves that when someone tells her what to do dance-wise, it just completely like throws her off so much. I can understand that, but I mean, I kind of expect a lot from her, and I think Todrick did too, and that's why he threw a lot of complicated choreography at her face, because he knew that she could handle it. And then later we had Thorgy trying to basically be Stevie, but not be totally against Stevie, because she even said herself that, you know, Stevie is a very, like, witchy person, and that she was, like, very, bohemian, that kind of a style. But Thorgy didn't want to go in the direction of, like, severely bohemian or severely witchy, which honestly, in a competition of All Stars, you should go ahead and take that chance. Like Aja said, basically she would have come out in a hat, a broom, played up the witch card, and then just go along with it. But Thorgy didn't want to do that because she didn't want to go against Stevie and who she was. Later on, a couple of queens were giving BB a hard time, not to her face, but basically saying in the confessional that she was being BB and not being Diana. Also, we had Ben struggling with her own steps, and I felt like this whole rehearsal process was just a lot. It was a lot. There was a lot of struggles. It kind of had me a little concerned, like, are they really going to pull this out at the end of the day? And then before Runway, we had a little bit of a mirror moment with the queens talking about their past experiences on Drag Race, as well as a little touch on Thorgy's confidence, because I understand Thorgy is a lot like Nina Bonita Brown from season 9, in the sense that she gets in her head so much that she doesn't see how talented she really is. I can totally relate to that. I do that myself all the freaking time. But in a case like this, when you're around so many queens that have such confidence, it's a little difficult to compete because you always doubt yourself before they can even judge or doubt you. So that's something that I kind of want to just snap Thorgy out of it. I'm like, girl, you're good, but I understand that that's not an easy thing to shake off. So we move on to the actual performance of the VH1 Divas. I love you, Milk, but I'm not loving the look. What? Not the best, Milk. A little slip on the lip sync. She's not lip syncing! It's like the moves are good, but the lip sync is just not hitting it at all. And I expect a lot from Kennedy. Please welcome Amy Winehouse. Why is she looking down? Oh God! Okay, I'm liking this. I will clock her on the earrings. I'll clock Aja on the earrings. I didn't like the gauge plus earring thing. Bring on the energy, Miss Thing! Ooh! Yes! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! And it's not you. Oh! God! It's so Mariah. It's so Mariah. Alright, the look's good. I feel like it's good, but it's not that next step that I would expect. Already. Oh my God! Yes! Woo! Bringing some honey mahogany realness with the caftan.
Oh!
And first off, we had Milk. Okay, I love Milk to death. I love Milk. Have loved her ever since I saw her on season 6. The problem being with Milk, she did Celine in a completely non-Celine, if that even made any sense at all. I don't even know if that was proper English. But she kind of played it up as a joke and as a goof, which I didn't quite understand. I hated the outfit. It did not look good. It looked like fabric just attached everywhere. If I remembered her Met Gala look, if that's what it looked like, then it's just a bad dress on her, and it was a bad dress on Milk. And also, I understand that she was singing the song Peanut Butter, but do you really have to have a jar of Skippy's peanut butter on a chain around your neck? I put Milk on the bottom, and I hate saying that because I love Milk, but I put her on the bottom because it was just not a good performance at all. Next up, we had Kennedy. And Kennedy is usually, like I said earlier, a fantastic performer, and she had the steps down okay, but what bothered me more than anything is that her lyrics, she could not lip sync her damn lyrics, and she's usually a great lip syncer, usually, and I was completely surprised that she couldn't get them both down at the same time, because it's so very un-Kennedy-like. So I also put Kennedy on the bottom. Next, we started to get better in the show with Aja being Amy Winehouse, and I gotta say, she kind of has a slight, if she's dressed up a certain way, she has a really canny resemblance to Amy Winehouse, but I love the fact she played it kind of sexy, and because her voice was always kind of like the sexy, raspy, jazz type of a sound. So that was great. Her choreography was really, really good. And then we move on to Chi Chi and as Patti LaBelle, and she just performed the hell out of that. She did a lot of the cool little dance movements, and I can't mimic them at the top of my head right now, but she just had so many little movements and quirks that were so Patti and that were really fantastic to watch. So I put Aja and Chi Chi on the top, but I think I would put Chi Chi a little bit higher. And then we move on to Trixie Mattel, who was Dolly Parton, and again, the resemblance, and I know that Trixie heavily paints her face, but she looked a lot like Dolly Parton. It was really scary almost how alike they kind of looked, and I loved the outfit. I loved she had the big guitar, and she did the whole fake thing with the boob, and I just loved Trixie. I absolutely loved her little performance. She played the comedy front really, really well, and that's what I really liked about it. So I put Trixie on top. And then we move on to Miss Diva herself, Miss Shangela as Mariah Carey, and I wasn't expecting them to play up the New Year's Rockin' Eve thing, but I was so happy that they did that because it was so hilarious. Her outfit, just fake boobs just projected out, butterflies coming out of her head, and just playing the thing oh, I want to be over here, but no, I'll move over here, I'll go solo, and just, it's so Mariah. It was so in character, and it was so good. I was laughing a lot during that segment. It was really, really, really good. So I definitely put Shangela on the top, probably one I would put in the top 2. And then we moved on to Thorgy, and her look was good, but I felt like there just needed to be that extra step. It was okay, but it wasn't blowing me away. I could get some Stevie-esque qualities in it, but at the same time, I also saw a lot of Thorgy, not much Stevie. It just wasn't cohesive together, and that was a little bit sad. So I had put Thorgy in the middle of the road. Then we move on to Ben de la Creme as Julie Andrews, and that was amazing. I am loving Ben so much this season. She's being absolutely incredible. But I love the fact that she did a rap as well as her little sing-songy musical style thing. It was just so good singing Call Me Mother, which is one of my favorite RuPaul songs, by the way. And it was just so good, and the microphone drop, it was just, oh, it was so, so good. So I definitely put Ben on top as well. I'm putting a lot of people on top because a lot of performances were very, very good. And then finally, to end the show, we end with BB as Diana, and she definitely played up the Diana Diva card. She didn't do a lot of singing, which for a second worried me, but then I realized, oh, it's not meant for her to be singing all the time. It's meant for her to do like a little reaction type of a thing, and her look was on point, although I did make the reference that the outfit did look a little bit like Honey Mahogany in the caftan realness. But overall, I thought BB did really well. So basically all I had on the bottom was Milk and Kennedy. Thorgy was in the middle, and then everyone else was on top, but I would definitely put Shangela, Trixie, Shangela, and Ben and BB on top. So there's a lot of tops, I thought. Runway-wise, that was a little bit of a different story for some people. So first off, and then we had Milk, who did a redo of her Crazy Sexy Cool look, which is the look she was eliminated on. And I will say that the look was definitely very much better. I also love the fact that if you paid attention that she had like little safety pins on her sleeve and like in the center of her cleavage. It was a little nod because she gets ripped apart for basically going home for a skirt that was being held by a safety pin. So I thought it was really nice. It was definitely better. So runway look wise, I would put Milk middle of the road to a top. And then we had Aja, who did a redo of her princess look, and definitely an improvement for Aja because her princess look from season 9 was very, very bad. I think she even admits it to this day. But she looked so beautiful in that dress. Her makeup looked amazing, and 100% totally better. She gets a plus on that. And then we had Chi-Chi, who did a redo of her neon look, and it was better than what she had originally, but it was still kind of like pedestrian neon, which is really weird to say, but it was not her best. I mean, I've seen her do so much better on season 8. She had done better. I just thought it was a little too basic, but it was better than what she had last time, so I would say she was middle of the road. Next, we had Trixie, who did a redo of her ugly dress challenge, and I mean, I love Trixie so much, and I just loved the look. It was a mix of her country thing along with like a very girly Barbie thing, and her makeup is always fantastic. So I loved it. Definitely that was a plus from Trixie. And then next we had Miss frickin' Kennedy Davenport with her Death Becomes Her, which in my opinion is one of the worst things to have walked down the RuPaul Drag Race runway. It's still to this day one of the worst conceived outfits ever. I still didn't quite like it because she still went along with the story, and I'm like, girl, you cannot get past that damn story. That story was so convoluted, it was so bad, and although I liked it compared to what she did in her season, it was just still not my favorite. It was still, and she's also really obsessed with stoning her face. She's been doing that a lot this season in only 2 episodes, so I'm a little concerned that she's gonna become the stone face queen. Technically better, but I would put her outfit middle of the road. Next, we had Thorgy Thor, who also did a redo of the neon runway look. Again, because I didn't like her look last season either, or in her last season, I should say. It was okay. I liked the hair and the headpiece a lot better, but the dress kind of just looked, it was thrown together very last minute, which I don't appreciate from my drag queens unless it looks meticulous, but this one definitely didn't. I basically liked her from the neck up. Everything else I just kind of thought meh. So I would probably put her on the lower end. And then next we had Ben de la Creme, who did a redo of the glitter ball look, which she had rose quartz, so she basically dressed in pink. Loved this look. I love like a flapper inspired type of a look, and I loved that beautiful beaded dress. The hair was always fantastic. The makeup looked good. I just definitely say thumbs up for Ben's look, because it was absolutely beautiful and definitely a step up from what she did in her season. Then next we had Miss Bibiza Horabene, Miss Cameroon, and she came out, or she basically did a redo of her entrance look. Was a little bit interesting. I think only because that look was kind of pedestrian, a little too basic, so she kind of upped it up a little bit. Yes, it's a little bit higher than basic pedestrian, but it still wasn't super wow-worthy. It looked fantastic on her body. She knows how to dress her body and do her makeup and everything like that. But as far as like fashion-wise or drag pow, I wasn't getting it, so I would give it middle of the road only for that reason. It didn't wow me enough. And then finally, we had Miss Shangela Laquifa Wadley, who did a redo of the holiday look from season 3, since, don't forget, she was on season 2 and 3. And holy crap, she walked out in a bubble, which I know is supposed to be like a snow globe. But holy crap, the fact that she can walk in a makeshift snow globe in high heels, she couldn't hear anything because she had those things over her ears. I'm like, that is dedication by any queen. It was fantastic. I loved it. Probably one of my favorite looks from the runway just because of how extreme it was. And this is stuff I love from my drag queens. I love big, over the top, and craziness stuff like that. So definitely that was a definite improvement for Shangela, but also one of my favorite looks of the night. So we move on. So we find out that our tops are BB, Shangela, and Benda La Creme. And then our bottoms were obviously Kennedy, Thorgy, and Chi-Chi, which I was a little perplexed by her being on the bottom because her performance was great. Her runway outfit wasn't the best, but I thought her performance was absolutely fantastic. And I was also very shocked that Milk was safe. Personally, I thought Trixie should have been in the top, and I thought Milk probably should have been on the bottom. But I'm not a judge. I can't make these decisions. But I definitely did call shade on Chi-Chi being in the bottom. So we find out that our top 2 queens are Shangela and Benda La Creme. A little shocking, but I mean, again, not a judge. And then also we had a little breakdown for Milk because she was very upset that she wasn't getting critiqued, which, again, I love Milk. I love her aesthetic, and I love Milk. I don't understand why she needed to have a breakdown when she was safe. If she had been on the bottom, I would have completely understood. But she's safe, and she's upset because she's not on the top to get critiqued. And she actually thought her performance was good, which it wasn't good. And I love the fact that Trixie made the comment, like, you know, that in her head she was good, but in reality everyone else thought otherwise. So let's move on to my reaction to the Lip Sync for Your Legacy! Alright, classic song. Okay, I think Shangela's gonna be in the better look to perform this song in, compared to Ben. Okay, Miss Thing, what'd you just pull? No! Yes! Yes! Come on, Ben, you gotta do something else other than just stand there. Oh? Oh? What is she doing? Oh, okay. 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 This is why I love Ben so much. Shangela's got, I mean, I'm sorry, Ben, I love you, but Shangela's got this. She has got this in the bag. That was good, though. That was good. That was good. So yes, Shangela did win the lip sync, and she does choose Thorgy Thor to go home, quote unquote, because we know about the revenge thing. Again, I hate the fact that Thorgy likes to hold grudges, and that she basically wanted to shade Shangela for sending her home, which I find a little childish, and I don't appreciate that. Okay, next time we're doing an improv challenge. Interesting twist for it being improv, but it's basically gonna be a play on The Bachelor, which will be kind of interesting, but I'm more intrigued on what the improv is going to be like. How are these queens going to adapt to improv? Because I've been through theater, I've done improv, it's not easy to do. So that'll be interesting coming from the queens. And then we'll have a couple people getting personal and a little bit bitchy, but it's Drag Race. what can you do? Alright guys, that is it for my review of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars Season 3, Episode 2. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me comments down below. What did you think of tonight's episode? What did you feel about Thorgy going home, the performance, the lip sync, anything at all? Leave me those comments. I would love to read them. And if you want to see my future videos or videos I've already done, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit the little bell icon so you can be notified when my videos come out. That's all I have for you guys today, and until the next video, bye! Mwah.